Last time on Who Wants to Be a Superhero, Piccolo would be swindled into taking Gohan's place as the Great Saiyaman while the young Saiyan focuses on his exams for a day. While the Namekian requests help from Bulma, Vegeta couldn't help but tear into the Z fighter for stooping so low, sealing his own fate in the process. Now as Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, will the duo be able to protect the city until sunset? Or will they do as bad of a job as possible so they are never requested to be put in such a position ever again? This story was created by Namekian as part of an ongoing series. Catch up fully using the links below. After their first not-so-valiant attempt at thwarting bad guys, and while Vegeta tries to mentally recover from his encounter with Mr. Satan, our interim heroes sit atop a building, trying to sulk away the rest of the day. Vegeta chides his partner that this is all his fault. Sick of hearing it, the Great Saiyan intern shouts, "Alright already, give it a rest, will you?" But he isn't just talking about this particular scenario today, he means all of this Saiyaman business. Though, what could he possibly mean by that? Vegeta tells him to think about it. The cape, the posing, it's almost like a failed attempt at copying someone Gohan thinks is cool. However, he better not be implying what he thinks he is. Piccolo argues there's no way he helped create this. If anything, it's his fault. Vegeta is equally confused by the accusation. There's no denying that the boots, the spandex, the name, all reek of Saiyan propaganda. This one is all his. I'm not the childhood hero here, you are! The hero idea was Bulma's, and it's obvious who her main source of inspiration was. It's all your fault! After their little back and forth, the pair release a sigh of defeat. What does it matter whose fault it is now anyway? Piccolo then brings up the point that he keeps thinking that they never really got punished for their past deeds. Maybe in some twisted way they deserve this? When Goku appears! Referring to their previous contemplation, even if they are being punished, anything but this. Goku begins to wearily apologize to his son, but Chi-Chi saw him on TV and is pretty upset because he said... Then something clicks. Something's off. Fully recognizing them, he happily chortles, "Oh, it's you guys! I almost didn't recognize you!" Before inquiring what Piccolo and Vegeta are doing, he... No! But, leaving our hero to wonder if it was something he said, Vegeta refuses to be seen like this by his greatest rival. Luckily, Piccolo has a bit more humility. The Namekian takes his time and explains everything to Goku from the beginning to now. Everything leading up to the events of how he ended up here. Starting to understand, Goku just wonders how on earth Bulma managed to get Vegeta to do it. Flashing back, we're treated to the scene in question.
You will help Piccolo out, or I swear to God, I will blow up the gravity room and never rebuild it. Have fun catching up to Goku on the Stairmaster.
Pleading with her to calm down, this threat would get the prince to do pretty much anything. Goku chuckles that sure sounds like something she would do. Either way, it's nice of Piccolo to help Gohan out with this. Who responds that people keep saying that, but it doesn't seem to make him feel any better. Then surprisingly, Vegeta returns! Stomping over. He shouts, "Yeah, that's right! I'm wearing a dress! You got something to say about it?" Our hero asks what he's talking about. It's a tunic, not a dress. He jokes Vegeta really doesn't know much, does he? Leading us to wonder how Goku of all people knows the difference. At any rate, Vegeta still doesn't like being told what's what. That's when Goku resolves to help them out. He knows he has just the thing they need. Leading to Piccolo's greatest fear, he begs Goku to wait. He never said he needed his help. Zipping in and out of reality in mere seconds, he holds out in front of him the thing that will answer all their questions. The Namek is afraid to ask, but what is in his hand? He tells how it's one of Gohan's old superhero comic books. Whenever Chi-Chi went in to buy Gohan more books, he'd sneak one of these in without her noticing. He heard kids liked them, so he thought Gohan might enjoy them too. And he did! Over the years, he was always asking for more. Actually, Goku guessed you could say he kinda grew up reading this stuff. Maybe that's where he got the idea for the Great Saiyaman from. Now with a definitive source to blame, Vegeta and Piccolo lash out on Goku, screaming, this is all his fault! He is why they were forced to do this! That's when a crime in progress interrupts the trio. A villainous older kid heartlessly tears a bag away from his underclassman, taunting him to try and take it back if he can. The younger child can only cry for him to return what belongs to him. Annoyed, Vegeta mutters under his breath that they have to be kidding. While he tries to argue with Goku, this is a case for a kindergarten teacher. His Saiyan brethren implores that there's no such thing as a crime too small for a superhero. Putting his helmet back on, Piccolo blurts for them to leave this to him. Getting Goku excited, he shouts, "That's the spirit, Piccolo!" While Vegeta simply can't believe that he's serious. As he makes his way over to the children, reality hits the bully. The younger kid confidently bellows that he's gonna get it now. As the aggressor throws out his hands to plead, he was just teasing. He didn't mean anything by it. When he grabs the wrong kid. Confused as well as a bit scared, the child begins to nervously object to, but the Great Saiyaman shouts right in his face to know if he had at least tried to do something first. Being 4 years old is no excuse for helplessness. But the youngster squeaks out, he's actually 6. But 6? Isn't he ashamed of himself for giving up like this? The Namekian continues to berate the, well, victim, by explaining he is basically inviting every bully, monster, and space tyrant to come and pick on him. His mother is not going to materialize out of thin air every time he's in trouble, and the Great Saiyaman can't be there to save him every time he needs it. He has to learn. His words trailing off, Goku thinks he understands what this is. When Vegeta suggests he might want to go and do something about this, it seems like he's 5 seconds away from kidnapping that child and dropping him off on a deserted island, prompting Goku to politely tap him on the back, urging a word with his ally. As the pair sneak out of earshot of the students, the bully turns toward the youngster and ironically asks if he's okay. But before he can answer, the Great Saiyaman swivels back around and heads back towards him. After this quick powwow, Piccolo sternly tells the bully to be nice to others, protect the weak, and to get back to school. And just as sternly as the other, he tells him to believe in himself and grow a backbone. With their full attention, he asks if he made himself clear. Piccolo folds his arms and walks away, but doesn't see what was so wrong with the way he was doing things. Taking off into the air, the kids are left a bit speechless. A while later, the three of them make their way to what appears to be the middle of a desert. But with these poses, Piccolo questions how much longer they have to do this. This pose makes him feel ridiculous, or more ridiculous. Goku informs them that they should be there any second now, and for the two of them to just keep posing. That's when the Saiyan spots a truck beelining it for a corner off a cliff. Kitchen appliances? That's what we have back there? To the criminals' dismay, they only just now realize that they've stolen the wrong van. Though, all this means to the driver is that they will have to find a way to sell this stuff and... Slamming on the brakes, they spot the Great Saiyamans standing in the road. Hey, get off the road, you freaks! Clearly not recognizing the saviors of Satan City, the thief jumps out of the car with a rifle, shouting these kids picked the wrong day and the wrong place to play hero. However, his passenger begs his idiot partner to stop. That's the Great Saiyaman! They say he was trained by Mr. Satan himself! Though, as many fools do, the device he's holding gives the bandit an air of confidence. He bellows that they're both nothing more than frauds, nothing but media fodder. He wants to see them deal with real bullets. The Beastman stammers, he's making a run for it. Sure enough, Piccolo effortlessly catches each of the bullets. This is the end of the road for you, criminal. Goku jumps in between them yelling, "Cut!" In frustration, Piccolo asks, "What now?" Goku tells him he didn't follow the script. He isn't supposed to catch the bullets. He's supposed to let them bounce off his body to show off his invulnerability. Calling out to the thief, Goku compliments that what he did was great though, just keep that same energy and do exactly like that again. But if it's all the same, he'd actually like to surrender, if that's okay. However, Piccolo commands he just do as he said already. This is the end of the road for you, criminal. Off screen, Goku gives them his nod of approval and instructs them to proceed. He then reminds Piccolo not to forget about the other one. Then turning to Vegeta, he's curious whether he plans to help or not. The prince quips, "Help with what? Can't I just stand here and look pretty?" Our hero argues that a sidekick should always be by the hero's side. You never know when you might be needed. Stepping up, he only grunts for him to make sure that he tells Bulma that he really helped. As Piccolo slowly makes his way to the other villain, with immaculate heroic vernacular, he demands that he surrender. He can't escape. And for some reason, instead of simply cutting his own losses and sprinting away, the criminal thought it would be a good idea to try and run off with as many boxes as he could. Horrified, he hurls all sorts of kitchen appliances, begging not to come any closer. Getting wailed on by everything from toasters to blenders, Piccolo supposes he should just let these things bounce off his body to just be safe. Stay away! That's when the bandit throws something even the great Demon King would be terrified of. Ducking, it bounces harmlessly off Vegeta's head, who in turn glances down at what in the world that was. Goku already knows and instantly makes the connection. Piccolo does everything he can to keep himself from curling up into the fetal position, almost whimpering he thought that was for him. Bending over, Vegeta picks up the object in question, asking if he's lost his mind. Goku tries in vain to warn him, but it's too late. The prince reveals it's just a stupid rice. You'll never take me! Cooker. The agitated Saiyan screeches to know just what the heck that was for as his rival tries to get him to calm down. He explains Piccolo can't help it. His father was imprisoned in one of those things and he inherited all of his memories. This is just a result of that. It's kind of an involuntary reaction. Flashing back to several years ago, we spot the Sun family having a small potluck with Piccolo. I knew you were out to get me! Goku assures he is already ashamed of it enough as it is, so give him a break. He didn't mean it. Though we all know Vegeta just isn't going to be the bigger man here. He cackles how he's going to enjoy mocking the Namekian to hell and back with this. He should be ashamed. This is pathetic. He's surprised he can still walk around with his head held high, as something similar catches Goku's attention. Though probably more theoretical than practical, remembering their short time absorbed by Majin Buu, he warns Vegeta not to look now, but there's a worm crawling towards his leg. Die! Die! Die, you disgusting abomination! Gross! With our heroes obtaining a new coach, they slowly work to improve their Saiyaman skills and, in a sense, pay atonement for their past deeds. As the day draws on, what other trouble could Satan City possibly get into?